welcome to the Astro Tarot channel for May 2014. I wonder how you found last month. There was a lot of basically I feel I can't start this Astro Tarot channel in the same way. I mean, you may have seen me just try to introduce it then with some spark and some vigour. I went on a TV presenting course last weekend. Was it last weekend? Yeah, last weekend. And it was great. It was fabulous. I learned so much, and it was talking about, you know, how the camera sucks the energy, and so the need to have loads of energy is so important. It was like, you know, they said if, you know, people speak like they do on TV normally, everybody would think they were mad. And it did make me laugh, because I thought, well, I think that's what I do, actually. I think I am just that way, and I can't just switch it on if I don't feel it. That's the thing. It's not a fake showbiz. It's a passion or a feeling. It's a feeling. I have to do this Astro Tarot channel today. And yesterday I found out something that means I can't turn it on today. But I can be real with you. And I don't think I'm the only person that's experiencing this type of thing at the moment. We had not one, but we had two cardinal ground crosses last month. And excuse me, because I need to blow my nose and I only have bog roll, so I'm now doing another TV don't. Bear with me. Two cardinal grand crosses. Now, I expect most of you that are watching this have heard about these cardinal grand crosses or even know what they are, but for those of you that don't know what they are, you don't really need to know. You just need to feel the energy. So cardinal, it's like a fire starter, it's like an initiator, something beginning. Grand, big, big, big. Cross. Do you get the feeling? When we had not one, but we had two of those. So let's not think with the head, let's not talk with the mouth, but let's feel it. It is literal. You don't have to look into anything deeply. That just confuses matters. So the thing I found out, well, first of all, I found out something that it shows how literal the Grand Cross energy is. So the Grand Cross happened over the Easter weekend. It came into exact alignment over the Easter weekend. I mean, how literal again can you get? The Grand Cross, Easter. But it was still in orb, which means 8 degrees either side is still a conjunction. It's still an exact in a way. Well, it's not an exact, but it's still happening on the 24th. And something quite literal happened on the 24th, which was the statue of Pope. Let me just check. I've forgotten exactly which Pope it was. I think it might be Pope John II. Fell. The statue of Pope John II on a cross fell and killed a man in Italy. It got killed by a grand cardinal cross, quite literally. And then yesterday, I found out that somebody I know murdered someone on the 24th. And they were still doing it when the police arrived. And it's more about what this is going to do to some people that I love, who I feel have been through enough. But it's also a case of another feeling of the system failing, or what our younger generation are going through, and the lives that are ruined through all of that failure. And I'm supposed to sit here and I'm supposed to tell you to think positively. Although if you know me, you'll know that I'm not necessarily one for thinking positive. One for being real. And you know, there was some grand tension, and everything that's been under the surface for so long has now popped. And with that, there can be a sense of relief. But when the worst things have possibly happened, in the worst ways, the most atrocious ways, then there's a sense of freedom, because what have you got left to lose? And I don't know how these alignments have been affecting you. But if I was to read generally, like I normally do, then that's what I would have just said to you right now. That when you've got nothing left, however it might have affected you, be it work, friends, family, relationships, identity, when you have nothing left, when you don't have that attachment, when all of that mental stress of the attachment of what you think is going to happen somewhere along the line has actually happened. Then there does come a sense of freedom that wasn't there before. Excuse me for my lovely glamorous TV sounds. You know, I just feel like if I was on Psychic today, I wouldn't be able to speak to you like I am now. I couldn't say the word murder. I couldn't cry in front of you. But this is my TV programme, I don't have Ofcom breathing down my neck. And if I feel like I was torturing myself before I got here for today's Astro Tarot channel. So I just can't feel it in myself. And then it was like, well, I don't have to. I don't have to feel sunshiny. This is my channel and this is me. This is me right now. And maybe this is what it's about, that we've all been broken down and we've all been stripped right down to be who we are. So, the only way is up. I mean, astrologers did say that they felt that last month was going to be like the most tense month that there have been in probably our lifetime. And when I did the written part of the Astro Tarot channel this morning, I thought, actually, you know what, May sounds much, much better. But I guess maybe that is because the only way is up. And I'm struggling to feel it in myself at this moment in time, even though the tarot does also back up what the astrology is saying. In the first week of May is a sense of progression, a sense of things lightening, and this could also be Venus's transit or Venus's move into Aries. That passion, that feeling of going and being able to live your dreams and go out there and do those things that maybe we just haven't felt like we could do so far this year. And what you have here shows that there is things here around, although we're going forwards, because these are both sixes. This is the Six of Wands and this is the Six of Cups. Now, sixes are progression, they mean going forward, but it's interesting because the Six of Cups kind of wants to go backwards to go forwards. It's quite nostalgic. So it feels as if we want to bring everything with us, even though there has been a heck of a lot of change and things just aren't how they used to be anymore. So, that's a perception, is it? Maybe things aren't the way that they used to be. But maybe that doesn't mean that we can't bring things with us. Maybe it just means finding a way to be all-inclusive rather than shut off. Because the next card that we have is the Abundance card. And abundance is a whole feeling. It's a holistic feeling. It's a connected feeling. Only this morning I was thinking about the twin flame stuff, and I was thinking, I really don't know if I believe in this twin flame stuff. I'm sorry if that puts people's backs up. I'm just being real. And I'm sorry for the lovely glamorous TV noises. But I'm just being real. And I don't know, I keep getting the messages that it's about all of us blending. It's about all of us finding the connection, the equal connection within us all. And the twin flame stuff just gives me this feeling of separation. It's like we've just got to find that one and sort everything else. And that to me just feels like a fear. I mean, yeah, okay, it's maybe not sort everything else with a twin flame. It's you find that one and then you work for the highest good of everyone. But still, there's a sense of hierarchy or one person being better for you than everybody else. And in a way, that can be true. I kind of have experience of that. But it doesn't feel like it's something to go after. because it feels to me like the more we can accept the past, the more we can move into the future together. The more we can accept ourselves, the more we can accept each other for who we are, the more we can move into the future together. I'm not sure why I spoke about twin flames in the first week of May, but it was in my head and it felt like the time to speak about it. And quite often, as a psychic, we don't know why we say what we say, or why we say when we say it, if that makes sense. So I've just learned to honour it, even if it makes no sense at the time. But as I'm looking at the last card, Abundance, and I'm now seeing the sun and the moon, I'm wondering if that is anything to do with the twin flames. The twin flames, I'm saying it like it's twin towers. And it's interesting because it's eclipse energy as well. And we ended April, I think on the 29th, April the 29th, there was an eclipse in Taurus. So it does feel like there's a lot here to do with, if you think about Taurus, it's about what you value, really. And going back to the past, working out what it is that you value and enough to take with you. And hopefully it's everyone and everything, even if people have done some really, really, really bad things. You know, as a past life regressionist, you get to see that we've all done some really horrific things, and that there is no place for judgment, and that there is no place for guilt. All that does is tear down the self-esteem, and when you have a low self-esteem, that's when the dark stuff really kicks in. I think it was the Hopis or the Native Americans that when somebody did something bad in their tribe, they'd all gather round and tell them all good things. It was like a ritual, and the whole community would be saying good things, good things, good things, good things, because they knew that if somebody is that destroyed inside, that they do really bad things, that destroying them even more is only going to create more of that. So, moving on, in more ways than one. So in the second week of May, we have Mercury going into Gemini. So Mercury rules Gemini, the planet of communication is Mercury, and the planet of travels. And there is a feeling of communications and travels really starting to get maybe some type of unexpected rise. So what you have here is the Wheel of Fortune. Again, you can kind of see Grand Cross energy. You see that? That's like a Grand Cross right there. And that's what a Grand Cross does. It brings the change. When there's 4, you get something that turns. You get the Wheel of Fortune. So what you're seeing here is that, you know, the changes are really taking place. They are really going on. And yes, life is one big fat change. We've been cleared right out, and there is a sense now with the Ace of Cups here. So you've got the Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Cups that we can receive, you know. We can really, really, we're open. It's like, come on then. No defences are left, you know. So there is this sense of, that's beautiful. That's so beautiful when we're not full of anything. So there's no defences. When we're back to scratch, when we're empty, when we're clear. It's not about being closed. It's not about being and being closed. It's about releasing, releasing, releasing. And I feel like there's been so much releasing. We've been asked to release so much. And it's like, we're all so busy still thinking of attaining. I must get this. I must go there. I must do this. No, it's all about releasing. How much can I release? Yeah, how much can I let go? How much can I get to this place? This beautiful, beautiful place of receptivity. Because then when I do that, look, travelling, I take off. I have my freedom. I am not bound by anything or anyone. And not in a way where I'm feeling cut off or I'm feeling exiled. But in a way where I can just give love without being afraid of being hurt. In a way where I can just be pure. In a way where I can just be me. And just all those complications, everything else, it's all gone. It's all gone. And that is the reward, if you like, after the double grand cross energy. And it's a fantastic one at that. So then in the third week, we also have really nice alignment going on with Jupiter and Chiron. Chiron is the healer, and Jupiter just expands whatever it touches. Jupiter also rules the Wheel of Fortune, so it's quite interesting. We're seeing that coming in the second week. So in the third week, it feels as if, you know, we're open, we've been opened up, we've gone through the mill, we've been broken down, we've been pushed forward, and now we've just released and we've opened up. And because of that, we can now get to a place where the healing can take part. We're open to it. So a really great week for doing healing work, or, you know, having healing treatments, and also for having any tough conversations. You know, April would have been a bit of a write-off for that, but what with Mercury going direct in the second week, going into Gemini, so powerful time for communications, and then Jupiter making this connection with Chiron, you have this expansive ability to talk, and the words just are felt, people are open to them, they feel them, and there's this healing, and it's beautiful. And that also happens on the same day as the Scorpio, is it new moon or full moon? I think it's full moon. On the same day that Jupiter trines Chiron, we also have a full moon in Scorpio, so it illuminates those dark depths again. It takes us right down, and it's like, look, hey, I'm laid bare, there's nothing left here, I've embraced my shadow, I've embraced my darkness, and bring it on, you know, but bring it on in a kind of, hey, you know, I have nothing left here, I have no agenda, no neediness, no attachments, no nothing, you know, it's just, this is me. And it can be so healing, so healing. You know, what you've got here is really lovely energies around healing in the third week of May. Make the most of it, because wow, I think we've been waiting for this type of energy for some time. And you know, Mercury is in Gemini until the end of the month, and then it goes into Cancer, so things could get a bit more emotional. It won't be that easy to kind of like just be so open and light with it, especially as it's building up to a retrograde next month. So this does feel like a month where we slowly build up and get better. Everything gets better as it goes along. In the fourth week of May even, we have Mars going direct, and we've waited for that for some time. It's like, that's a huge relief as well, because it's just felt like, been lugging around. It's like this, so hard to get going energy for so long since last year. And now there's this sense that somebody has given us like some skates, somebody's put the heaviness on a trolley and given us a barocca and off we go. So what you have here is the Chariot. So get your skates on in the fourth week of May, because what you have there is an ability to really make progress, particularly also because this week on the 24th we have Jupiter trining Saturn. So anything that you've been working hard on gets a push to go forward. So what you have here shows that you might have to ride through some kind of rapids, but this feels exciting to me. It feels like an adventure, quite literally. That's what this card here is the adventure. So it might be like a sense of you having to prove yourself, and it could well be full of quite a bit of an adrenaline. You know, adrenaline could really be going through your veins. But everything you've been working towards, here it is. So it's a fabulous, fabulous week of achievement, finally. So that feels really great and amazing too. On the 5th week, we have a new moon in Gemini. So it feels as if there's lots of pieces of information coming together. We've got the World card here. So it feels like information that you might have been waiting for some months may well come through. There's also so much energy around travel this month in general, that there's a lot of things here if you've been waiting to really start travelling, or, you know, attain those jobs abroad or visas or all of those things. That also feels like things can start coming through now. And you also have the Fool card, or we have the Fool card, should I say, which is also the nomadic traveller. So there's this energy of being able to go around the world, but there's also this energy of being free and being reborn very, very, very strongly, which is fantastic, because it just feels like there's been a heck of a lot of issues for way too long, you know. So interesting that the next card is clinging to the past. Time to drop it, guys. Yeah, time to drop the stuff. The general for the month of May seems to say that we are being guided. We've got the guidance card there, to put our love into our home, into our connections, into our people, into our family. Even if our family is the world, you know. But this is quite interesting, because I started, didn't I, by talking about my feeling on the twin flame stuff, and how it kind of feels to me like it kind of denies, in a way, that connection with everyone, which I'm sure is what it's about getting to. And that's a very simplistic way of putting it, but I wondered why I was saying it. And what we have here in the general, if you can see, it's like we're being guided to love, to share our love in the Knight of Cups, with more than one, to make family with everyone, you know, and be inclusive. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard when you've been hurt, when you've been let down. And I guess the place is to get to the place where you are okay with that, you know, you're okay with being hurt and being let down, that you don't feel like you need to resist anything or anyone. That's tough. It takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of guts, you know, whether that be physically, mentally or emotionally. But I don't think we've just gone through what seems to be one of the most tensest astrological times in our lifetime. One of being really pushed, really challenged, and one of being really broken down. So that we just carry all of our stuff with us. And yeah, we're human. Yeah, we're going to feel these feelings. It's not about not feeling them, but it's more like about feeling them and doing that feeling in ourselves until we get to the place where we're healing it in ourselves, rather than reacting out of hurt and causing more complications and causing more drama. Thank you for listening to my soapbox this month. At least you know I'm real. And so when I do my mad, happy, laughing, funny stuff, that's real, you know. And I hope that I've just got to trust, really, that something that I've said, it's been real enough for you, you know, maybe even more real and so therefore has some deeper, longer lasting effect on you. I mean, it's lovely, so lovely when I hear, you know, how the Astro Tarot channel has been really kind of working with you throughout your month. It's so lovely for me to hear. And sometimes I just think, am I just reading for myself? Because I read back and I'm like, oh yeah, that's my month. I look at it and it's like, that's my month. But I do get lots of feedback from you guys that kind of shows me that we are all connected. You know, we are all connected, and that's what I guess this one's been about, really. Looking through all of the illusions, looking through all of the pain, and getting to that place where we can feel and we can see and we can know that connection is there. On that note, I think the word I have to say is namaste.